What if monsters from video games could hear you in real life? Welcome back, my fellow gamers. This is Top 10 Gaming, and I am your host, Amanda McKnight. Join me as we count down the top 10 things you need to know about Escape the Ayuwoki. Number 10. Michael Jackson. Ayuwoki? Or are you okay? It's believed that Escape the Ayuwoki is actually a game that is based off of a Michael Jackson creepypasta. I kid you not. Apparently, it is based off a Spanish creepypasta about a corpse-like animatronic character that looks like Michael Jackson. Ayuwoki is meant to be a play on the line that Michael Jackson sings in Smooth Criminal, "Annie, are you okay?" In the story, the Ayuwoki is said to visit people in their bedroom at exactly 3 a.m. If the Ayuwoki visits you, you will know them by the sound that they make, almost identical to Michael Jackson's famous vocal riff, hee hee. And also in the game they make that sound. Number 9. It listens. In the original version of the Deadly Crow game, the demo for the game, I guess I should say, I mean, it's also kind of like it's a complete game. Well, it wasn't really complete. Anyways, demo, original version, whatever you want to call it. The Ayuwoki can hear you. There are some areas of the game where you're safe from the Ayuwoki hearing you, and it is believed that when you are hidden in designated hide spots, you are safe from the Ayuwoki. He can't find you, and he supposedly can't hear you there. Or if he can hear you, he can't come for you at least. This adds a whole other level of intrigue to the game though, especially for those who are streaming it or recording a playthrough, as generally when you're doing that, it's expected that, you're gonna talk about what you're doing to the viewer or be engaged with your community who is live streaming your playthrough and are usually like chatting along with you in the chat. I think that's fascinating. I think that's such a cool thing. I want that in more games where games can hear you. And friends, before we move on to the next spot, if you are loving this list and you want more videos like this where we talk about, other games out in the world other than FNAF, be sure to let us know by giving this video a thumbs up. I like about talking other stuff than FNAF. I like about talking about FNAF too, but I'm down to talk about a range of things. I think that's fun. Number 8. The Ayaya. Well, the name of the creature is Ayuwoki. The first time that Markiplier played the demo, he struggled to say its name. Ayuwoki, or Are You Okay, or as Markiplier called it, Ayaya. I mean, you know when I'm talking about a horror game that I'm definitely gonna go watch Markiplier play that game if he's played it, because he entertains me to the nth level. The Ayaya was the nickname he had for it, basically because he struggled to say the name. Although he also miscalled it the Ayaya, going on continuously. Throughout gameplay though, in typical Markiplier fashion, he also referred to it as the Ayaya, or the Ayawoki, or the Ayayoki, as he struggled to hold on to his sanity, which quickly seemed to be slipping away from him in this playthrough. Even more so than in some other extremely terrifying games that I've also watched him play. I mean, his sanity tends to go pretty quickly, I find, in horror games, but it really was going here. It was really slipping. I can't blame him though. I feel like, yeah, this game is horrifying, so your sanity will be tested. Number 7. Hiding spots. There are lots of hiding spots in the game, and although when you play you may struggle to survive, the reality is there are probably actually a lot more places to hide than you initially think there are. You can hide in the game in cupboards and under tables, but you can also hide behind furniture, under small side tables in certain dark corners, and even behind packing boxes, at least in the original version. In the Steam version of the game, it's a little less hidey hole, but there's still places to hide that you maybe aren't thinking about. So really, it's about finding where these hiding spots are by testing them out, which yes means sometimes you're gonna lose and you're gonna get jump scared in the process, but hey, that's all part of playing the game, to figure out the best routes for getting through the game and surviving and ultimately winning. That's what we're here for. Well, I think actually mostly we're here to get jump scared because it's a scary game. Number 6. Echolocation. Well, already the idea that the Ayuwoki can hear you in the original game at least, and the fact that it often crawls on all fours and can chase you super fast is enough to put you off ever sleeping again. They also decided to improve on the Ayuwoki for the Steam version of the game. Here, instead of the Ayuwoki hearing you and coming near you, well, he still can hear you and come near you, but not your mic, I don't think, in the Steam version. Doesn't seem that way anyways. But instead of him doing just that, he can also now echolocate you. In a unique way though, as supposedly he does this using his teeth, which is just as horrifying of a concept. Like, how can he hear me and also sense me by like moving his chompers around? Chompers he presumably uses to chomp us, the people he is chasing. At least that's what I get from the jump scare animation in the game. It seems like you're you're being devoured? It makes sense. He does like to chomp the rats, so you're also probably getting the chomp. Number 5. Smooth Criminal. The music that you hear in the original game is also meant to be a version of Michael Jackson's song off his 1987 album, Bad. It was written by Michael Jackson and produced both by him and Quincy Jones. Smooth Criminal is a song whose lyrics focus on a woman who has been attacked in her apartment. And the lyric, "Annie, are you okay?" is actually in reference to this woman from the song, who actually apparently takes inspiration from the Resusci Annie CPR dummy, supposedly. This is something that I learned while writing this video for you guys, and I am amazed by it, but apparently that's a thing. It sounds pretty wild, but I kinda also would not be surprised. In the game, the version of Smooth Criminal you hear obviously can't be an exact match to the real song from the 1987's Bad, as it would be a major copyright claims issue. So instead, it simply has a somewhat similar, although less concise, I'd say, melody. It's more like this spooky piano theme takes haunting inspiration from Jackson's original, which makes it more creepy, and also makes it more of a legal thing that can happen, I imagine. Number 4. The Jacket. The jacket that the Ayuwoki wears in the game seems to be inspired by the same jacket that Michael Jackson wore during the day he got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which happened on November 20th in 1984. The jacket he wore on that day was inspired by what appears to me to be an old-fashioned British military jacket, but of course covered in sequins because Michael Jackson. This of course further strengthens the connection between the Ayuwoki and the appearance of Michael Jackson. In the original version of the game, he also was shown visibly wearing white gloves, which also seem to take inspiration from his Walk of Fame outfit, because he was also wearing white gloves there. Number 3. Too Fast. Too Furious. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I'll just keep going. Sorry about that. The hard thing about this game, other than the whole, you can actually be heard on a mic element, which is also in there, is that like many monsters out there, the Ayuwoki is fast. Really fast. So you don't have much time to hide when it sees or hears you. Sees you in the original game. In the Steam version, it can't see you, but it can hear you. And it will decide to come and get you if it does seem to locate that you're around. That is probably one of the most challenging aspects of this game. Not just knowing where you can hide, but also effectively making it to those spots in time to save your own skin. And then of course surviving the nail-biting horror of the Ayuwoki even being near you as you hear your own heart thumping loudly in your chest, both in the game and likely in real life as well, because it's scary. It's really scary, this game. Number 2, The Cult. I like how I'm getting scared just talking about it. Like I'm not even playing it right now, and I'm scared just thinking about it. In the first version of the game, you can locate a tape where a cult is alluded to. One person heard on the recording wants to leave the cult, but the other person warns them of attempting to do so, claiming that leaving is not really a thing people do, and warning against exposing them with their attempt to do so. They beg them to give it a second thought, even though they're like, I'm not gonna rat you out, but also, watch yourself. In the Steam version, this lore is somewhat expanded upon, with the same recording appearing at the beginning of the game, and with more lore added, as it is also established that this cult worships a mysterious entity known only as an elder. Cult members offer sacrifices to appease this elder being, in the hopes that by pleasing it, they will actually be granted immortality. Number 1. Michael Jackson, the hero? In the story of the Steam version of the game, you learn that the Ayuwoki is actually, in a way, kind of the hero. Or he was, when he was alive. Ayuwoki looks like Michael Jackson because he actually once was, in a way, Michael Jackson. How is he the hero? Well, according to the lore, Michael Jackson actually tried to expose the cult's dark truths. However, he was caught by their leader, Mr. Carlin, before he could do so. Mr. Carlin apparently sacrificed him to the elder, but because Michael was a full-grown man and not a youth with childlike fears, which is what the elder feasts on and prefers, something went wrong during that ritual. As a result, something new was born from the ritual, which is how we got the Ayuwoki. What do you think is the scariest part of Escape the Ayuwoki? Have you played this game yet? And if not, would you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. This has been Top 10 Gaming, and I am your host, Amanda McKnight. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, you keep on gaming on. Pew pew!